It's time for me to explain what's going on at the 11th Circuit and whether the American public are going to get their hands on and their eyeballs on the DC election interference special counsel final report. Yes or no? Are we going to get it earlier than Sunday? Is there going to be an appeal to the 11th Circuit of Judge Cannon so they can reverse her for the third time in this case related to Trump, Mar-a-Lago, and his criminal prosecutions? I'll break it down for you here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Take a minute. You've heard it before. Bang, hit the subscribe button. Come right back here. And join me back here for this particular hot take. Here we go. The 11th Circuit gave the Department of Justice additional time to file what's called a notice of appeal to allow them to appeal that part of the lower court's decision, Judge Cannon's decision, to block for 3 additional days the release of the report. The 11th Circuit has already ruled that there is no grounds to block the report, but this is like a 1-2 step here, because when Trump filed, he filed in 2 places. He filed with Judge Cannon. She granted a stay and temporarily blocked the release of the special counsel's congressionally and statutorily mandated report. The 11th Circuit also got an emergency application, and they said there was no grounds for stay. But that left open the issue of Judge Cannon's 3-day stay, because she created a stay that would last 3 days after the 11th Circuit ruled. But because the Department of Justice didn't necessarily technically, procedurally oppose Judge Cannon's decision with an appeal directly to the 11th Circuit, instead they just responded to the emergency application filed with the 11th Circuit, there was this procedural kind of hiccup where it left open the issue for even at the 11th Circuit as to whether Judge Cannon's order could be vacated. So the 11th Circuit told the Department of Justice, now being run by Washington and by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami, here's your chance. You want to release that report earlier to the American people than Sunday? File with us a notice of appeal. There's 2 things now that are going to happen. One has already happened. Jack Smith and the special counsel, Department of Justice and all, has taken the 11th Circuit up on its offer and has filed a notice of appeal. I believe now the 11th Circuit will set a very fast track here and try to get a decision to lift and reverse Judge Cannon for the 3rd time in the case sometime in the next 24 hours, which means we could be getting this report tonight through Merrick Garland or Saturday at the latest. If they don't do a darn thing with the appeal, which I doubt it since they gave the opportunity to the Department of Justice to do it, then it will just naturally, her order will naturally expire on Sunday. Sometime Sunday night or Monday, we will get our hot little hands on 1,000 pages or so of Volume 1 of the special counsel report. That's the first track. The second track is what's Trump going to do about it. Now, we know when he panics and he's looking for the last reprieve, he throws a Hail Mary and tries to dump the track and get over to the United States Supreme Court. I am quite sure that John Sauer or some combination of his lawyers are putting the finishing touches on an appeal that they're going to try to file today or Saturday with the United States Supreme Court to stop the release of the special counsel's report, arguing that he's invalid, that he's unconstitutionally appointed, and therefore there's no report to release because he was ultra vires or illegal to begin with. That's sort of their argument. I think that gets rejected. And it also gives the opportunity, if they try this, be careful, Trump, because if you try it, you could have the Supreme Court finally issue their order that the special counsel was properly appointed under the Attorney General on the underlying issue, which is still up at the 11th Circuit and hasn't yet been ruled on. So be careful what you ask for, because you might get it and you might raise the dander of the Supreme Court. Now, Trump knows he needs this Supreme Court for all of his crazy abuse of power moves that he's going to do as soon as he gets into office. So he's not trying to piss off anybody there. Even when they ruled against him yesterday on the United States Supreme Court 5-4 decision with Amy Coney Barrett sliding over and joining the Democratic wing of the Supreme Court to not block the sentencing of Donald Trump under much personal attack. She got attacked mercilessly by MAGA as a result. I said she's been the swing vote when it comes to Donald Trump and abuse of power, and she will continue to be going from now forward. This was an example of her muscular sort of coming into her own and starting to be the right centrist that she is, the swing vote, if you will. This could rapidly become the Amy Coney Barrett court, not the Roberts court. She could take the place of Kennedy as the swing vote. The swing vote also has been moving substantially right and right of center for a long time. The swing vote used to be Sandra Day O'Connor, a country club Republican, Reagan appointee Republican. Then it moved to the right with Kennedy as the swing vote on many, many decisions, and now right again with Amy Coney Barrett. But she's still center right, not MAGA right. And that's what's getting everybody upset. So I think he'll try that at the Supreme Court, but I don't see them blocking the special counsel's statutorily mandated requirement that he turn over his reports to Merrick Garland, and Merrick Garland statutorily mandated that he has to turn it over to Congress and to the American people if he finds that it's in the public interest. We're never going to see the Mar-a-Lago Volume 2. That is done. Just kiss that goodbye. That was a strategic decision by Merrick Garland to basically sacrifice the Mar-a-Lago report in order to make sure we get our hands and our eyes on the DC election interference report, and we will. So let me summarize. Yesterday, the 11th Circuit said to Jack Smith, if you want us to lift the 72-hour stay that's in place till Sunday with Judge Cannon, file a notice of appeal. Jack Smith has filed the notice of appeal. I see a short track briefing schedule and the 11th Circuit siding against Cannon, reversing her, allowing the Department of Justice as early as Saturday, if not tonight, to release Volume 1 about the DC election interference case, not the Volume 2 about Mar-a-Lago, while Donald Trump at the same time goes out and does a Hail Mary to the United States Supreme Court. Look for Amy Coney Barrett and Roberts. They will drive on this particular train. I don't see there being 5 votes to block the release of the DC election interference report. I think that would be a violation of separation of powers. I don't even think this Supreme Court's going to do that. Stranger things have happened. Come back here to Legal AF, this YouTube channel, for a constant updating and reporting on all these fast-moving stories. This is sort of a dress rehearsal of how we treat things here on the channel as we move forward into Donald Trump's 2025 and beyond, as we bring him to bear and hold him accountable and responsible every day here on Legal AF. Hit the subscribe button. We're going to be 400,000 subscribers in our first 4 months this weekend. We're shooting for 500,000 in the first 6 months in the next, by our half birthday, only with your help. So if you have a moment, hit that subscribe button. It helps with the algorithm. It helps signal that we're getting bigger and better. And the bigger we are, the more your voice is heard. This is a people-powered channel. We're building it with our bare hands and yours. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.